About to get the race underway for 15 minutes of action. The red lights go on and they are about to go out, and they do, and the race gets underway then. They head off up towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. It's a good start, and usually from pole position by Oak Richardson, and he's got the lead of the race there. Michael Pearce has lost a bit of ground. He's gone down to second. Roger Chesnow, I think, has made his way through on the inside in that black car with the red flashes on it. He's up to second, then Pearce down to third. It's Ben Hansey actually going to try and get past him into third place as well. Thomas Holland is in fifth. I think Smiles is in sixth place possibly as they head their way out of Druids and down towards Graham Hill Bend for the first time. Bit of locking up from one of the cars in the midfield. That's the 178 car, which is Kevin Dengate, long-time MX5 racer, also raced the M3 Cup when that was a thing about a decade ago with the 750 motor club. But a good start to the race here for Oak Richardson.
Yes, he's got a lead of about 7 or 8 lengths coming out of Clearways up onto the Brabham Straight for the first time in this 15-minute race. We've just got a tad under 14 to go. Obviously that longer lap from the standing start, and it is Oak Richardson who leads Roger Chesnow up on the outside, Ben Hansey and Michael Pearce through Paddock Hill Bend there. You can see the next chasing group is Thomas Holland in the red car. Somebody touches the grass. That's Hansey on the inside as they go through Druids for the next time. Holland leading a train of cars in that chase.
Smiles was in fact down to 8th at the end of the first lap in the number 46 car.
Didn't start well yesterday either, did he? He was qualified well and then picked his way through again.
Getting used to getting these cars off the line. He raced the Saxos in the Junior Saloon Car Championship last year. That was his first step into car racing. He's only 17 years of age from Eckington, a student. Also doing some waiting on tables to earn a bit of money to fund his racing, no doubt. Turning his way through the final corner of this second lap of the race, chasing after Oak Richardson, who's got a very healthy lead, more than a second, is it? At the end of 1.3 seconds at the end of lap 2. Chesnow, though, has got Hansey and Pearce climbing all over the back of him, and Holland and Hallam not too far behind. I'm just looking at that, but Andy Bailey made up 2 places on that last lap. He's gone up to 7th place in the number 95 car, and there was one off the road there. That was the 46 car of Ben Smiles, so Smiles has made a mistake, and that's dropped him further back down the order now, possibly outside the top 10, as they make their way out of Graham Hill Bend for the second time. There you can see the 40 car of Hansey is now at the head of this group, so he's got ahead of Chesnow. Chesnow down to 4th place behind Pearce as well, and now he's got his work cut out, keeping Holland and Hallam at bay. Yes,
that's right, because Holland's tucked to the inside as they come up onto that plateau, which marks the start of the Brabham Straight, and behind Holland it's Hallam, the Formula Fordster, and virtually bum drafting through there. Very dramatic, but they both managed to displace Roger Chesnow before they get to Paddock in the black car. That exposes Chesnow to the 95 car, which is Andy Bailey.
Yeah, that's Smiles' incident. I think he may have had a bit of a contact with Sam Gormer there as well, which sent him wide and down to, where did he come back? 15th, yeah. So he lost 7 places that lap, unfortunately for him. So he's got even more work to do than he had yesterday. But there's Chesnow, chased by Andy Bailey now, the Mint Alloys man, in the number 95 car, 56-year-old from Flitton. Been racing since 2002. Started out in Caterham Academy, with his racing in production BMWs and Pumas and production Golf GTIs and all kinds of things. This car built with Brian Chandler, I think, this particular one.
Not to confuse with the Andy Bailey had a Frog Eye Sprite in Motorsports in the 1970s.
Different one, definitely. As they are, these two, Hansey and Pearce, they're getting away a little bit now from Holland, it is now, up into 4th place. Hallam 5th and Chesnow in 6th. Smiles made 1 place back up on that lap, up to 14th, ahead of Zolly Shabai, who's making his debut in the 5 Club this season, who this is Francis's favourite circuit. He was keen to race with Scott and Jack Lawrence, having raced with them before.
I think that was Tomlinson in the maroon car that was bouncing down the grass halfway down the hill from Druids to Graham Hill Bend. He's picked it up again.
Yeah, there is Tomlinson, who's usually a little bit close to the front.
Yeah, he is. And Ben Smiles is jostling his way back. So he's from Essington.
Yeah, Eckington in Worcestershire, yeah.
Yeah.
So Pearce right in the toe of Hansey here along the Brabham Straight, pulls out, but no real effect, I don't think, there. If anything, he might have lost a little bit of ground. He's perhaps going to try and get the cut back and carry more momentum up the hill towards Druids.
Yeah, Hansey clipped the curve in the middle of paddock, and that kind of slightly destabilised the car. Let Pearce get a bit closer. Behind them, it's Holland in the 74 car, the red PS Motorsport car with the white checkers over it.
We've not really mentioned Jordan Johnson. He's steadily made his way up from 14th on the grid to 8th place. Got the best lap of the race now, 58.472. He was the champion 2 years ago. He was a front runner last year, second to Ben Short in the championship. And yeah, black and white driving test pack has gone out to the 46 car, which is Smiles, isn't it, for multiple spins, as it describes it on the time screen. He's had an eventful race.
He's doing well to running in pretty much the top third of the field, having spun
multiple times. Here is a change going on. That's Andy Bailey up the inside of Roger Chesno, who is going backwards in this race. He was on the podium yesterday, but he's not having such a good run today. If he's sort of changed something on the car overnight that's not quite worked, maybe a little tweak to the setup.
Conditions are very similar.
Yeah.
Same headwind, decent temperature.
There's Jordan Johnson behind him now, that 92 car, the grey car with the white number on the side. So he's looking to perhaps climb into the top 6 before the end of the race. Mike Richardson's lead is still about 1.3 seconds, I think. And he's going to get into traffic, I think, before much longer. There are a couple of slower cars not that far ahead of him. One of them just going across the line now.
Yeah, 666. That's the second of the Hollands.
Yeah, that's Nigel Holland, the 64-year-old from Limpston, a business consultant. In his first season of racing, did track days about 30 years ago. Keen to give racing a go. He's one of the BS Motorsport customers. Pretty much halfway through this race now. There's battle going on.
And Chesno still managing to grimly cling to the inside of Druids.
Smiles was catching it with Gormer again. I think they did have a little bit of a brush early on in the race. There's Nigel Holland being passed by Ben Hansey and Michael Pearce. And Matt Hallam also going through as well in the number 44 car, the driver in 5th position. The 26-year-old from Devices, an account manager by occupation. Richardson, though, looking pretty commanding here with this advantage of about 1.3 seconds. He's looking pretty good. Other drivers also being warned of incidents now. 128, which is Gorman, and also the 848 car of Matt Crozier as well. So they just need to make sure that they're behaving themselves for the rest of this race, otherwise they might find themselves with a penalty of some description.
Johnson up into 7th place in number 92 now.
Smiles at the inside of Gormer into Druids. He's got his car halfway alongside the 128 car, taking the tighter line on the inside, resting his way around. Don't think it's going to work out for him though there, because Gormer holds on.
Yeah, he'll try to cut back, but they're being followed precious close now by that's Kevin Dengate, I think, in behind them.
Yeah, I think that's right, in the red car. I think he's a former Burkitt relay winner, wasn't he, Kevin Dengate?
BMWs and things, wasn't he, quite a lot of the time.
So he turns his way through, chasing after Smiles and Gormer in 10th and 11th. And they're going to be pretty much side by side as they go across the line to complete lap number 9 of this race, with just under 6 minutes left to go. Still those two side by side. We've also got a battle going on. That's Jordan Johnson trying to get past Andy Bailey as well.
Going on another of the back markers. That's Isabel Burrows, isn't it?
Yeah, 26, Isabel Burrows. Father Neil also on the grid. Just a couple of places ahead of her, actually. Hand out to the cockpit there for Ben Hansey. Not quite sure what he was signalling.
Let's work together. Let's work together and catch him.
The gap's down to less than a second now. Traffic has probably played a part in that. It's not completely beyond the bounds of possibility that they could catch him. Black and white driving standards flag going out for 44 now as well, which is Matt Hallam. As here comes Ben Smiles again, trying to find a way past Samuel Gormer at Clark Curve this time, and this time he has gone through, and trying to follow him is Kevin Denge, almost with a wheel on the edge of the grass there, and he has gone through, I think, before they can get to Paddock Hill Bend. So Kevin Denge taking advantage of the door opened by Ben Smiles there.
I think that's probably what it was. I think Hansey's a little bit enthused by the fact that he's closer to the back bumper of Oak Richardson, and if they stop fighting among themselves and just concentrate for a couple of laps with 4.5 minutes to go, there's a possibility when the next cars they come up to lap intervene, that they could make that move and latch on.
There's the gap, you can see it. Still just over a second, I think, between Richardson and Hansey.
Still frantic action in the middle of the pack, which is exciting to watch.
Here's some of it. It involves Denge. Also there is the 64 car, which is that of Scott Lawrence. He's just in behind. There's a screech of tyres.
Somebody goes round, number 90.
Yeah, that's the 90 car, which is Andy Robinson.
Yeah.
He's had a spin. Behind our commentary box there, you can see that now on the live stream. I think he's going to get going again. He was running in 27th position before that. It's much closer actually between these four now, because 74 Holland and 44 Hallam have closed in on Hansey and Pearce.
Yeah, that's right. That chase group has grown as number 92, which is Jordan Johnson, has made his way now up into 6th place. So good race he's having.
4 minutes left. Probably time for 4 laps, because they will just get one.
And there's 92, Jordan Johnson looking up the outside into Paddock. He's not got the space there to do it, but you can see he's got his head down in the cockpit. That goes up the inside now of Hallam.
Yeah, Hallam, whose rear bumper looks like it's a little bit crumpled. Well, yeah, it's maybe just the way it's taped on after yesterday, possibly.
Skirmish.
Yeah, and they're still alongside one another, these two cars, Johnson and Hallam. Hallam had 1 win last year. Jordan didn't trouble the score as far as wins were concerned last year.
But they're still side by side, and round the outside comes the 92 car, which is Jordan Johnson. He's got back past Hallam. It's the 3rd change of place between these two in about half a lap.
Yeah, and this is all for 5th and 6th position. Johnson did well to come through from row 7 of the grid to climb this high. Over the line, Pearce getting close to the back of Hansey, who was taking advantage of the slipstream there. He's to the outside line at Paddock Hill Bend. Will he try and get the cut back and go up the inside on the way up to Drids? He's a little bit too far back to make that work, and he's got to watch out too for Holland, who's going to throw it up the inside, send it, as they say. But he decides better of it. He's managed to pull away now from the next two. Hallam and Johnson, of course, having been battling with each other over the course of the previous lap, leaving just these 3 to squabble over second.
Yeah, they've kind of fallen back as a result of the intensity of their duel.
Richardson now is 1.6 seconds ahead of these 3, and Hansey, I think, he's just trying to leave Pearce behind now, because there's only going to be 2 more laps to go at the end of this one.
Yeah, Richardson looks like he's broken the chasers now.
I would say he probably has. He's been dealing with more back markers as well. He's going to go along with 1 minute and 7 seconds left, so yep, 2 laps to go. Over the line goes the chasing group. He's still trying to find a way past Ben Hansey. Hansey was a 2-time champion in 2019 and 2020 in 5 Club MX5 Cup, so he's had plenty of wins under his belt over the seasons. That's Andy Bailey now alongside Matt Hallam, and I think they were going past the back mark as well. It was the Andy Robinson car they were going past, so this often seems to happen to Matt Hallam. He seems to start races pretty well and then fall back as the race goes on. He's under more and more pressure from Andy Bailey, and also Roger Chesner, who seems to have plateaued. He dropped to about 8th and then he's stayed there. He's not gone any further backwards.
Is that Hallam in that sort of Formula Ford mode, going hell for leather out of the blocks at the start and making up some ground?
Chesno trying to make up ground on the inside of Bailey there. He's got an overlap as they come through Clearways and Clark Curve, and they're going to be alongside one another as they come back out onto the Brabham Straight, I think. Can he just find an extra millionth of a brake horsepower to get ahead? He might do. He has done.
That was a good move behind him, though, as well.
And that was Crozier, I think, Matt Crozier in the 848 car that has also gone through, the 40-year-old from Bath in his second season of racing.
Left his braking hellish late and managed to get there purely by being on the right part of the circuit.
This is the last lap, and look, Jordan Johnson now is with Thomas Holland for 4th place. So the red car of Holland, the grey car of Jordan Johnson, looking to climb from 14th to 4th in this race. He's got one more place to go. Only a few more corners to go now for Oak Richardson to make his second race win of the season. He's turning his way through Clearways towards Clark Curve now, and the final corner of the race, but the big battle going on for second place, but the clock's counted down to 0. Here's Oak Richardson now. He's got some more back marker lappery to do as he comes up to the line, but he takes the checkered flag now, does Oak Richardson, to have a second win of the weekend in the Massimo Tyres 5 Club Racing MX5 Cup. He's won by more than 2.5 seconds in the end from Ben Hansey. Pierce, Holland, Johnson couldn't quite squeeze out one more place. He finishes 5th. And Hallam, Chesno, Crozier, who had that spectacular finish, getting ahead of Andy Bailey. And Ben Smiles did get back into the top 10 in the end, despite those various incidents during the course of the race. And there's one more race to come later on this afternoon for the 5 Club MX5s with a partially reverse grid. It's going to be someone between 6th and 10th in that race. So between Hallam, Chesno, Crozier, Bailey and 10th place Ben Smiles, one of those will be starting on pole position for the final race of the weekend for the 5 Club Racing.
How's that decided?
There will be a ball drawn out of a bag to work out which one it is that is going to be on pole position. Here's the result though for race 12 of the weekend. It was number 17 Oak Richardson, the winner of the 5 Club MX5 Cup after 16 laps of racing. Second was number 40 Ben Hansey, third number 70 Michael Pierce, fourth was 74 Tom Holland, Jordan Johnson was 5th in 92, Matthew Hallam 6th in 44, then Roger Chesno 105, 848 Matt Crozier, 95 Andy Bailey, and Ben Smiles completing the top 10 ahead of Sam Gormer, who had a brush with early on in the race. Ian Tomlinson was 12th, then Kevin Degate and Zoltan Shabai. Scott Lawrence, Chris Lovett, Amy Worthington, Stephen Robinson, Jack Lawrence and Mary Barnard complete the top 20 ahead of Sam Moody, Alex Quatch T, Matt Short, Martina Ward, Andrew Beale, Paul Barnard, Philip Barrett, and then I think probably everybody else, not quite everybody else lap. So Jeremy Lewis, Fletcher, Aidan Wardley and Glenn Crook also on the leading lap, but Neil Burrows, Andy Robinson, Isabel Burrows and Nigel Holland were all lapped during the course of that race.
Amy Worthington could be down winner for the second time.
Absolutely right. So the cars will be leaving the circuit to head down to the pit lane. We're going to have the Race Park 750 Formula Championship up very shortly. There's a big queue of cars. Full of MX5s trying to get down to the pit lane though. And where we can go down now to Josh Barrett, who is going to speak with our top 3 in the MX5 Cup.
So we're down here in the pit lane. Looks like our race winner Oak Richardson on another lap. So we'll start with Ben Hansey. Ben, today looks like it's gone better than yesterday for you.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a problem just before qualifying yesterday, so only got out for 2 laps. And with a full grid at Brands Hatch, that's a little difficult to put a lap time together. And as given 20 minutes before, I didn't think we were going to get out at all. And we had reserves, so I thought that was my weekend done. So, yeah, second go after 18 months out of the car. Ball's back.
Did it feel difficult to get back into it? Obviously not too much as you kept charge through the field yesterday and then out onto the podium.
Yeah, it's time away. Absence grows the heart, mate. Makes the heart grow fond, as they say. So, yeah, time away has made me sort of hungry again. Yeah. But, yeah, I felt rusty and I'm bruised in places that I don't get bruised in a race car. But, yeah, really great racing. And that's our second session without any safety cars or didn't see anybody parked up. So that's brilliant. Full grid. That's how Masters go racing. Yeah,
obviously, you've been a big part of this championship and the grid has grown very much so. Now to a full grid, so talk us a bit about how that feels from your point of view.
Yeah, Alan Robson created a brilliant product and he spent many years asking me to take it on because he wanted to take a step back. Between myself and Adrian Johnson, we've focused on everybody having a good time across the weekend. We everybody got together last night, we all had pizzas, everybody having a natter about their battles off and on track, and yeah, so great to have a full grid, everybody's happy. That's what we want, is mates coming racing and having a good time and nobody going home with too many problems.
Okay, well done, Ben. We've still got our race winner, so we'll have a word quickly with Mike Pearce, who was third. Mike, third position there for you, and another close race.
Yeah, it was. Again, trying to get past here is quite difficult. I was helping Ben along a little bit, just to try and catch up with Oak, because obviously the prizes are at the front there. Had a couple of looks, and a couple of times I had to defend off of Tom Holland, but it was quite pleased with the results. So I've had a second and a third now, so I'm still waiting for the win, but I'm sure that'll come at some point. Talk
to me about the track conditions, because obviously we've had quite a few offs today, and some of the cars out there look really sideways.
Yeah. No problem at all. I think my tyres went off a little bit. It was a bit squirrely towards the end. The track was in tip-top condition, really.
So looking forward to the first good race later now?
Absolutely not. No, I have no idea where we'll end up, but it depends on what number gets pulled out, we'll see. But I imagine the last race is going to be quite chaotic.
Hope not after this morning.
Well,
but well done. I don't think we've got time, unfortunately, to speak to our race winner.